Hi friends, Sam here with Happily Hooked. So today is Tip Friday. I'm super excited about this one. We're going to be talking about tension on this. As you may know, when you join our digital magazine and subscribe to us, you get to become a part of our Facebook community group that is filled with crocheters who love yarn just as much as you do. There's a link in the description below if you want to check that out and find out some more. So like I said, today we're learning about tension and why it's important. So on Tuesday, Courtney and Shauna did a test and they each made a swatch to see how different tensions are. Shauna crochets a little bit looser, Courtney crochets a little bit tighter, and there was about a ½ inch difference in their tension on their gauge swatch. Now to put that into perspective, a ½ inch really doesn't seem like that much, but when you multiply that over the length of whatever you're making, it can add up to inches, so your item would either be too short or too long. It's kind of important to make sure that you do that gauge swatch, as annoying as it can be. So today I'm going to show you how I hold my yarn and how I manage my gauge and my tension. It's a little bit different for everybody, so you'll have to see what works best for you, but I'll show you how I do it. Let's get started.
And make sure you guys do click on the like, subscribe, and the bell if you're on YouTube to make sure you get notifications.
Alright, so this is my description of how I control my tension in crochet. So I hold my yarn and I loop it around my fingers. So I have it looped, but I hang on to it pretty tight. I tuck my finger down underneath so you can't pull my yarn, and I pinch it between my two fingers. So I make my chain and I'm holding my yarn relatively tight. And this takes a lot of practice. You'll also see I go all the way up on my hook. And when you go all the way up on your hook, it gets wider, so it gives you a little bit more room. If you worked just, I don't even know how to do that. If you worked just at the base, it makes it really tight. So like that stitch, let's go back down. Those two stitches are much tighter than these stitches. So you control that way. That's one of the ways that I control my stitches. Another way is when I, like if I'm gonna go back through and do my half double crochets, when I yarn over, I make sure that the yarn is tight around my hook before I go into my stitch. If you have it really loose, it's going to be a much bigger loop than the one below it. And if you, like I said, keep it really tight against your hook, it's much smaller. So it really just depends on how tight you hold your yarn and where you hold your yarn on your hook. So if I loop my yarn this way and then over this way, so I kind of make a figure 8 with mine. But when I close my fingers, you can't pull it. So I would say that I probably crochet in between what Courtney and Shauna do. I'm kind of middle of the road. And the best tip that I can give you guys is if you're crocheting too tight, go up a hook size and practice with going up a hook size. If you crochet too loose, go down a hook size. Use the same yarn, do the same stitches that it was called for, but that'll help you practice what your stitches should look like and how much tighter and looser you should make them. That's just my perspective on it. There's a couple other ways to practice with tension and how to hold your yarn and where to hold your yarn and how to put the yarn on your hook. That's just what I know how to do. If you have other ways, let me know. I can look those up and try and do some videos on that too. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye!